demons come hard when it comes to GMS. Giving all praises. Yahweh Shemel Shai Bashim Kakodash. Rap the News was never a member or a part of GMS. As a matter of fact, he came against us. He always came against us. And in his deathbed, you know, we got on his ass. And the reason why he ultimately died because he wasn't doing the will of the Most High. That's why the Most High took him. Now his members came against us, cursing us out and so forth. But anyway, Rap the News was never a part of a great millstone. But you got this demon, San Miguel, who's a former member of the ICGJC, who broke off from the ICGJC because he wasn't being treated right by the leadership. Number one was Tazadakia. And so he's on a, you know, he's pretty much on a smear campaign for all the Israelites. There's no beef. There shouldn't be no beef with us. We didn't mess you over. You got your bitch ass got messed over so much that you don't even believe in the Most High. If you check his page out, he's a practicing atheist. How do you practice atheism? We never said that, but that's what I said. He's a practicing atheist. You got atheists. If you don't believe in God, don't talk about it. Just, I don't believe in God. But it's almost like you got certain atheists that get together and talk about people that believe in God. It's almost like you have a God over you, which is an atheist God, which doesn't make sense. Anyway, this guy made a statement. I'm gonna jump around. I'm gonna see where the spirit leads me. And yeah, this clown, this demon, San Miguel TV. He's a simple ass Simeonite that followed the God sent comforter. And I believe, well, actually, yeah, he believed that the God said, he was stupid enough to believe when this guy said he was a comforter, he believed it. That's why he's so mad. And now his, you know, he focuses attention on the ICGJC, but they're not, you know, they're insignificant. Nobody talk, you mentioned the ICGJC, people, who's that? What's that? They're not on YouTube. They're not on any social media. If you go to their page, there's information on that page from maybe years ago. So they're insignificant. You know, what does it say in Acts chapter 5, verse 38? If this gospel be of men, it shall come to naught. And the ICGJC has no power. It's just a small little community church. They don't go out on the highways and the byways. They don't, you know, their only credibility is that they have, you know, High Priest Ariad, as we call him, and High Priest Shaw, and they're not doing nothing. So they're all in a dead state. Now, whether the Most High raises up High Priest Ariad and High Priest Shaw, or whether the Most High takes them out, that's up to the Most High. So like I said, this guy was mad at, number one, he was mad at Tazadakia for not, you know, for treating him like, you know, like a redheaded stepchild, I would say. So he got, and by the way, this guy, this clown, San Miguel, he's good friends with Vocab Malone, and he even mentions it. He's, you know, this, okay, it says here, it says the curious case of Manuel Gill, the Hebrew Israelite who starved his teen girls to death, and then he died after, I believe, he starved his South. There's a scripture that speaks about being righteous over much. Let me go ahead and get that. be not righteous over much. Give me a second. Let me just, okay, I'm right here. Pull this over here. Oh no, I don't want to do this. I want to come back to this. Be not righteous over much. That's what I wanted. Ecclesiastes in the regular Bible, 7 verse 6, verse 16. So let me just click on it. Let me just click on it. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna read it in context. The key verse is in the 16th verse. But it says here in Ecclesiastes 7, different from Ecclesiasticus, 7 verse 16, I'm starting at 13. It says, consider the work of the Most High, for who can make that straight which he have made crooked. In the day of prosperity, be joyful. But in the day of adversity, consider the Most High also have set the one over against the other, to the end that man should find nothing after him. All things have I seen in the days of my vanity. This is Solomon speaking, which is Yahushua. There is a just man that perisheth in his righteousness. Let me read that again. There is a just man that perishes in his righteousness. First individual that came in my mind is Abba Bivens. He perished in his righteousness. He was doing the right thing. He was doing the will of the Most High, and the Most High took him out in a violent manner. When he was John the Baptist, he was doing the right thing. He was a righteous man, and the Most High took him out in a violent manner. So let's read that again. There is a just man that perisheth in his righteousness. And there is a wicked man that prolongeth his life in his wickedness. Guys like Vocab Malone, guys like Sam Miguel. Sam Miguel, you're a demon. You have transformed into a demon. You had started off as being a Roman Catholic, so you were messed up from the jump. And then you stumbled into the, I don't know if it was, I guess you became a part of the 01 West at the, was it 1941 Madison? And so you were part of it, but you were from Florida. And you told stories how they made you guys drive up. You had certain meetings and you had to take that long drive up. And this happened for years. And oh, what precept comes to mind? What precept comes to mind? Let me find another tab here. Okay, let me do this. I'm jumping all over the place. Matthew 23. You can even start from the first verse. Moses' seat, you know, they sit in the seat of authority. Whatsoever thou observe and do, meaning the laws, do the laws, even though they don't do the laws. But when they say, and that shows you that the Most High, that the Yahushua is about keeping the laws. And therefore bid observe for the blind. Okay, for they bind heavy burdens and grievous to to be born, to be carried, like in your case and others, the detoxification, whatever you called yourself, you and those lost souls and all those guys, they went back in the world. They didn't say, okay, well, now let's go out on the highways and the byways. You got disenchanted by your experiences with Tazadakia. So a lot of you that had left, you just went right back in the world. A lot of you went back in the world. Well, this was after the year 2000. Like I said, when he made the announcement that he was a God-sent comforter, you people stay, including you, because you're not a man of the Lord. That's why you don't believe in the Most High. Because you're mad at the Most High because you felt you got a bad hand from the Most High. So ultimately you blamed what happened to you with following the comforter with the Most High. So you said the hell with the comforter, the so-called comforter, and the hell with the Most High. I don't believe in him. I'm going to do my own thing and I'm going to slander these guys. Well, you're telling the truth about them, but you're slandering us by making a statement. I'm going to show you in a minute, by making a statement that Rap the News was a member of GMS. Rap the News was never a member of GMS. As a matter of fact, that demon Rap the News came to the 34th Street camp years ago and stood in the audience. And I said something about this guy. Something about this guy. He stuck out like he didn't say anything. So I said, who are you? And as soon as he opened his mouth, that was Rap the News. But I hadn't seen his face. But he actually came to the camp. He could have said, oh, by the way, I'm Rap the News. No, he stood out in the audience, just listening to us, sticking out like a sore thumb. Now, I remember him coming again, constantly coming. We talking about, what, 10 years ago or so. He would always come up against us with his videos. So how in the hell is he going to be a part of GMS? That shows that you are a demon straight out of hell, San Miguel. And Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai is going to destroy you. And who do you run to? You run to Vocab Malone, another demon. And Vocab Malone don't give a flying fuck about you because he ain't trying to make you believe in the Most High. He just wants that juicy information from you. So you can't say nothing against the ICGJC. So guess what? You go after other camps. Mainly you go after GMS. We ain't did nothing to you, but it's the demon that's telling you get at GMS. And why is that? Why is that? Because we must have the truth. We never ripped you off. We never lied to you. I never met you. You never, came to one of the camp meetings. So how in the hell you go from the ICGJC to GMS? I'm gonna let you listen. I'm gonna let you see what he says. And the day is coming, my man. Well, the Most High gonna take all you demons out. He's gonna take all you demons out. Give me a second. Yeah, forgive me. Okay, where was I? Okay, so it says here, let me come back to the scripture. Matthew 23, verse 4. For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne. The perfect example. When you had to take your silly ass from Florida and take that long ass drive. I drove from New York to Florida. That's how many hours is that? It depends on how fast you drive. If you gun it, and you don't make those stops, you know, you don't rest in it like that. You just gun it down there, depending on what part of Florida you're going to. You're talking 20 plus hours. 20 plus hours. So your simple ass had to get in the truck with the rest of those people in your congregation, and you had to get in the van. I remember you telling that story, and you had to drive your demonic ass, Phil ass, up to New York for what, 1 day, 2 days or whatever. Then you had to drive your stupid ass back down to Florida. You were an idiot, man. You are part of a cult and you didn't recognize it. That's why when everything's said and done and you left that thing, you came to your senses. You really didn't come to your senses because you said F you to the Most High. You are a atheist. And I'm gonna say practicing atheist, meaning you doing things in the spirit of atheism. That spirit of I don't believe in the most and a power and a God is driving you, which is a demon. That's a demon. The demon told you that there's no God, but that one demon is your God, telling you that there's no God, that there's no spirits, there's nothing up there. So you're completely lost. When you die, where you gonna go? You don't know. An atheist doesn't know where they're gonna go. And then you might be you might be an Edomite. Ain't no way a man gonna fuck my head over where I no longer believe in the Most High. It said, for they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, carried, and lay them on men's shoulders. Going back to the example of your simple ass driving from Florida. Okay, we got to go to the meeting. It's that time of the month. I don't know if you went once a month. I don't know if you went once every 6 months, but you would take that long ass drive up there and you would go and hear some bullshit, which they could have told you over the phone. And then you drove your demonic Phil ass back down to Florida. All right. And then whatever time you had to go up there, you got to go. It's a meeting. Everybody got to meet. This is the scripture right here. For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne. We never told the members of GMS that are scattered throughout this country and around the world, you got to come once a month. Well, I ain't got no money. I don't care. You better ask somebody. No, the brothers that have come out, we had the brother from Hawaii. He has family. He's originally from Philly. So when he comes out to see his family, he got kids or whatever the case may be, he got family. We're not too far from Philly, we're in New York. So when he came down last week, he hung out with us, man. And he was telling me about that brother is the ultimate storyteller, man. That dude be telling me some stories. But he was telling me about his relatives. And he said, yeah, I got famous. He was mentioning relatives in the news. You see that news story with this motherfucker killed 7 people? That's my cousin, this shit was crazy, man. Hey, so we cool with the brother. The brother stood up and said, I'd like to thank you, brothers and elders and the leadership. I said, man, sit your ass down. Then he sat down and started laughing. We ain't all into that praise. We'll get our praise when the kingdom comes, when we get them crowns. So he's laughed about it. But then he went to Philly, but then he got with the GMS and Philly, the Philly brothers, man. And the head brother, he's an Ephraimite. But you can see that brother's face, man. That brother's face, but back years ago, he was like a kid, but he's a grown man. You can see his face, is shine on his face, and he's just as diligent as he's been from the beginning. All right. So, all praises to the brothers down there in Philly, man. They holding it down, man. Okay. They didn't do like you, get emotional and quit, and then even turn your back on the Most High. You said F you to the Most High pretty much. But then you always got, and even in this video, I'm ranting, please bear with me, I'm ranting. Even in this video, you said, I got to if I can get with Vocab Malone, because he has a bigger audience, because you want to what's the word? Lambaste you want to make the Israelites look bad. You mainly want to make GMS look bad. That's why the demon that's in you, the atheist demon that's in you, because atheism has a spirit. There's a spirit. That's why you people get together in the name of being atheists. That's an actual demon leading you. And you'll find out when you die and you come back in the kingdom. You'll find out. It says, for they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne. I'm not going to tell, bro, okay, all you brothers, every 6 months, y'all got to come out here and y'all got to buy these garments. That's what Bishop Nathaniel does. He met all of the guys that wear t-shirts, they got to buy them t-shirts, man. When you join the regular military, they give you everything. Those fabulous garments, you got to buy them. What was it, $400 or $500 or whatever? So, you know, Bishop Nathaniel got a real good thing going. He got a real enterprise going, all right? It says, for they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne and lay, and I want to do this. I was watching a video. I give IUIC props, a good video of you know, going to Geno Jennings' church, and you showed in the church these people acting a damn fool with demons on them, jumping around, getting the Holy Spirit. You know, them niggas, they start like they epileptic, they're suffering the epileptic seizure. I'll show you that video. You know, if Bishop Nathaniel has a problem with that, I'll take it down, no problem. Anyway, it says, and you're obsessed. You are obsessed with getting on the Israelites, mainly GMS, because this is the #1 group. We are the only group, you heard me? We are the only group that teaches that Abba Bivens is Elijah. Now, people are going to jump up, no, I teach it too. Okay, good. Us and you, all right? We teach that Abba Bivens is Elijah. So if Abba Bivens is Elijah, he had to turn the heart of the father to the children, heart of the children to the father, right? He said, come and smite the earth with a curse. That curse is coming now. So it is going to happen. Who told you, John said to the wicked scribes and Pharisees, who told you to flee from the wrath to come? The wrath to come that he was talking about is getting ready to happen now, 2,000 plus years later. So the spirit was heavy with John the Baptist, because that was Elijah. What is that? Luke 1 verse 17, he shall come in the spirit and the power of Elijah. And then the Christians say, he gonna look like Elijah. No, that's the spirit of Elijah coming back in the form of John the Baptist. And then coming back again in the form of Abba Bivens. You got some former members from GMS from Mississippi, the head of Mississippi. He's now saying Abba Bivens is not Elijah. The Most High is not dealing with you, period. I did the last video I did on you. I was expecting you to come on my comment board so I can ask you a question. All you could do is do what you got to do and let the Most High, let the Most High deal with you. That's something that Lahab said. We ran into Lahab, we started cursing him out. He said, are you threatening me? Are you threatening my person? I said, the Most High is threatening you. And he said, well, let the Most High, he pointed himself, and let the Most High deal with me, that bug out. That's why, you ain't invited on Fopi no more. You ain't been on Fopi in a while. Talking about we're going to go in the kingdom. Forgive me with my rant, talking about we're going to go in the kingdom for 1,000 years. We're going to reign for 1,000 years, and then Esau's going to jump us. We're going to be out there dancing with our women, and all of a sudden Esau's going to jump out the trees and kick our asses, kick our black asses. and then take the kingdom over again, and the Most High got to come again. Don't you know it says in Revelation 21 that the Lord is going to be among men? So they're going to jump the Most High too? How stupid is that? Anyway, let's keep reading. For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, to be carried, and lay them on men's shoulders. They laid it on your shoulder. I remember years ago you were saying that the school that you had, the 12 tribe sign on the school was fading, and your school, and you needed money, and you would put in an application to get some money, and they would deny you. And they were good at that. When you needed money, they denied you, all right? It says, but they themselves will not move them with what? With one of their fingers. In other words, they're going to put the heavy lifting on you. It says, but all their works they do for to be seen of men. They make broad their phylactery, sound like IUIC, kung fu fringes, and enlarge the borders of their garments, kung fu fringes. And love the uppermost rooms at feasts and the chief seats in the synagogues. Now I remember, well, that's something else, ain't important. So that's what a lot of these guys do. They get into the fact that they're Israelites, they got big numbers, and people look at them as gods, right? So now let me come back. Where was I? Okay, let me go to the 15th verse. All things have I seen in the days of my vanity. There is a just man that perishes in his righteousness, becomes in mind, and there is a wicked man that prolongeth his life. Esau is prolonging his life, right? In his wickedness. Be not righteous over much. Don't be too righteous, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldst thou destroy thyself? So I'm gonna show you this video where this guy, he says you can't wear animal prints, you can't watch a boxing match, you can't watch a baseball, you can't play baseball. And somehow it's in the news that he starved out his two young daughters, and himself, because why? Because he was over righteous. He bugged the hell out. And we first of all, us here at Great Millstone, first and foremost, we don't get into the affairs of a man and his family. If you got 12 women, that's on you, brother. That's on you. You know, if you got children, you're the head of your household. So if you go ahead and do something crazy, that's on you. We never taught you that. When do we ever teach anybody don't eat no food? And give me this, and give me the receipts where Rap the News was part of GMS. Rap the News was never part of GMS. Now, I don't know, maybe he got into it by watching GMS videos, but he was never a member of GMS. That guy, as far as we can go more than 10 years back, he's always been an enemy. He's always been a scoffer to us. And like I said, in the beginning of this video, he came out to the camp and didn't say nothing, just like your boy, Abu Kamar. Abu Kamar came out to the camp. When we first got on YouTube, Abu Kamar, he had a YouTube page called Truth After Knowledge. And this is long before Fathead Vocab Malone got on the scene. We're talking about Abu Kamar. And this was it. He would go back and forth with us on the comment board. So one day he just came out to the camp, but he never said who he was. And he wore a black t-shirt with the Santa de Guadalupe, which is the Mexican version of Lady Madonna, the Mary, the mother of God, so to speak. So but would show you he was a Roman Catholic. All these guys are Roman Catholics, Reformed Roman Catholics, all right? He said, yeah, that's the Mother Mary. That's the Mother Mary. I said, man, that's some Roman Catholic bullshit, man. I said, and then he was saying that's the fulfillment of Revelation 12. I said, no, Revelation 12, the first couple of verses, that woman is talking about the Israelites. That's why she had a crown with 12 stars on a crown, right? The moon was under her feet and the sun, was arrayed behind her. That's talking about Israel, man. That's talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. So it says, be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. You're trying to be too deep. A lot of times we say, don't be too deep, be one deep. Why shouldst thou destroy thyself? So him trying to be super righteous, don't wear no animal prints, don't watch a baseball game. If a boxing match, if Floyd Mayweather fighting, you better not look at it, because that's going, you are the world. And then the nigga said, well, I ain't gonna call him nigga, he's dead. Let the dead rest in peace. Anyway, he said that the mark of the beast is being in the world. World West is in the world, and we're not. Inside joke. It says, be not, and the guy that said that was another bug out. Be not over much wicked. Don't be too right. There's a balancing act. There's a balancing act, all right? Like, let's say, for example, you eat some food, you don't know what it is, you think it's lawful, and then you kind of taste it, and it tastes like shrimp, and you pull a shrimp out your mouth. Guys who want damn near kill themselves. You know what? I didn't do it. I didn't knowingly do it. But I ask the Most High to forgive me and move on, man. Like these brothers we go to this one restaurant and they give us other dishes, dishes, you know, to eat. They said, well, try this. Tell me what you like. So they wound up giving it to me, but they tasted it and they said it tastes like chicken. So I went and ate it, right? It looked like chicken. When I put it in my mouth, it was the texture of fish. And I spit it out because I didn't know what type of fish it was. So I was like, I hope it's not catfish. But I put the prayers up and I threw the food away. Then next week we went back to the place and he said, what fish did you put in there? And it was a fish that's in the Orient. So we looked it up. And you know what it said? The main thing I was concerned about, whether it had scales and fins. And they said it has scales and fins. So I said, okay, that's a clean fish, but I didn't know, you know? So it says, be not over much wicked, neither be thou foolish. This guy was foolish. He killed his two beautiful daughters and he died himself. Why should if thou, but then they're gonna blame it on the Israelites. Like we told somebody, nah, don't feed your daughters a damn thing. Why should if thou die before thy time? And that's what he did. An untimely death, it's called. It is good that thou shouldest take hold of this. Yeah. Also from this withdraw not thine hand. For he that feareth the Most High, and by the way, San Miguel TV, for the record, you do not fear the Most High because you don't believe in the Most High. But there's a spirit that lead you to do what you do. There's a specific demon that's guiding you. Man's goings are of that demon. That's on you. There's a demon that's put you to do that, man. You mad as hell. You mad at the whole world. It's like some stupid woman that got played by some dude, and now she just want to deal with lesbians. That's pretty much what you are. You know, you're smitten. You know. God shall come forth of them all. Wisdom strengtheneth the wise more than 10 mighty men which are in the city. So now let's go into, let me find this video here. Okay, so he labels it the curious case of Manuel Gill, the Hebrew Israelite, who starved his teen girls to death. Now I'm waiting for let me go to the comments. Here's another example of why that coat isn't beneficial to the Black and Latino community whatsoever. Yeah, because you'll take a bugged out guy. If a Roman Catholic does it, are you going to condemn all Roman Catholics? It was just a bug out that was a Roman Catholic. Is that each incident put this movement into a state of obscurity. You know, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger every day. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger every day. I rarely see the ICGJC in the streets teaching anymore. Why? Because the Most High is not with them. The Most High is not with them. That's a little church organization. Okay, so another one. Who took the place of the Comforter in ICGJC? It's not important because they're insignificant. Okay, so let me click on this atheist. Probably the holy apostles. He's talking about High Priest Arian, High Priest Shaw. He's supposed to resurrect from the the dead soon. They literally believe that shit. Yeah, like your stupid ass. You believe that shit too. You believe that he was a comforter. You believe what you were told. You actually, but when they said, I am the God sent comforter, you said, oh, praise. And then you know what? This nigga Comfy, this demon Comfy, that's why the Most High took his black ass. This nigga Comfy, right? The name was Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Oh, we don't know the name of Yahweh Shai. Okay? We don't know the name. He's called, they let you keep the name Yahweh, but not Yahweh Shai. So they said you got to call him Bun Yahweh, meaning the son Yahweh, but we don't know his name. He took that bag. Okay? And said he's supposed to, you would have, if you stayed, if he would have treated you right, you would have stayed, you'd have still been in there, man. You were hurt. You were hurt. All right. You were hurt like a woman. He's supposed to resurrect from the dead soon. They literally believe that, just like you believe that he was a God sent comfort, because you were in there, the detoxification nation station. All of y'all believe that, man. It said, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh. Blessed be the Lord. Okay, so now let me see here. So he says, nonsense, this is child abuse. Yeah, it's murder. Hell, it's murder. With this guy, what he did was, he was, like I just read in Ecclesiasticus, he was righteous over much, which became an act of wickedness. Excuse me, then what kind of abuse is this? Approximately 3.1 million children died from undernourished nutrition, each year. Why single out this story? Let their memory rest in peace. None of you were there to know what truly happened. The video is full of heresy, lies, slander. I would not made it in such a manner. Were you there when God gave Moses the law? How do you know it really happened? San Miguel TV, the atheist. What does the Lord have to do with this? Are people not responsible for their own actions? And yeah, you're responsible for your own actions. And ultimately, you're going to have to, come before the Most High. It says, what you grasp has to be declared, and you did not make yourself able to seal your hands to state what you reach for, whatever the hell that means. So anyway, so let's listen to this. I'm gonna jump around a little bit.
This is the video here. I'm not gonna play the audio. It's really just a bunch of garbage. And Rap the News came out of Great Millstone. Great Millstone, or GMS, is already insane, crazy. Rap the News took it to a whole nother level. I mean, Manuel was saying that you can't wear clothes with leopard print or animal print. You can't play sports. You can't do art. Like, these people are insane. They think all of this is somehow connected to Illuminati, and this is like some paranoid schizophrenia type stuff. Who's County Medical Examiner funding? And his two teenage daughters inside their apartment in December of last year on Gary Hill. The medical examiner in King County said that he simply starved him.
So when you watch this video, The Curious Case of Manuel Gill, the Hebrew Israelite who starved his teen girls to death. You know, you're gonna see how bugged out he is. But now, come to find out that he was following Rap the News, which Rap the News and Mosai took him out the scene because he wasn't right. All right. And then you said GMS are insane. You got a lot of, if that's the case, you got thousands of insane people out there. All right. So let's listen.
Laws. So I think the laws. Basically, can't put no guys in front of no guys. So anything that he made on the earth, below the earth, on top of the earth, you know what I'm saying? You can't wear that shit, you know. You can't wear no fucking zebra print flowers. Can't wear no fucking none of that shit he made. So I'm trying to keep it real with you. Nothing. All that shit of the world. Football, baseball, basketball, all that bullshit. We ain't supposed to be doing that either. All niggas sold their soul for a reason. For riches. Sure. So y'all supporting that shit. Y'all support basically the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast system. Y'all keep supporting that bullshit, knowing that all that shit was here for the system. If you see something really flourishing right now in this system, it's basically the mark of the beast. Real talk. I'm not talking about my brother's system. I'm talking nigga flourishing right now in this system. Was here for the system. If you see something really flourishing right now in this system, be system. So y'all supporting that shit. Y'all support basically the mark of the beast.
So if you watch baseball, you got the mark of the beast. That's a new one, boy. That's a new one for our list. If you watch baseball, boxing, football, if you wear animal print, you got the mark of the beast. You know, I guess if you eat, that's the mark of the beast too. Got a lot of bug outs out there, man. Don't San Miguel, you demon, don't equate us to these bug outs out here, man. And you just love, you would love it if somebody in GMS did something crazy. All right. Oh, and I'm gonna come in defense of the IUIC. Joy Morgan that got killed, that was a bug out that happened to have been a part of the IUIC. It had nothing to do with the IUIC. So I defend them on that. There was some bug out. This is what happens when you get a lot of people come in. You don't know how many bug outs is coming in. All right. So anyway, let me go from here to I put in, can you drink apple cider vinegar before bed? It's good to drink. I drink it before I go to bed and when I get up in the morning. Let me see. Okay, IUIC events. Okay, I got to find the newest one. Okay, I want you to watch this, get a few laughs. Now, Bishop Nathaniel is clearly wrong for rolling out there like that. Because basically, you might as well go to a local cemetery and do it. You got a more chance of waking up people in the cemetery than you do these people. And you're going to see inside of the church that they're madness. It's clear madness going on in that church. You're not going to wake these people up. Scriptures say, said with a hot iron. Scriptures speak about having sound doctrine. Okay, so I'm gonna let you listen up, or watch.
What's your name, brother? My brother Big. We're brother Big, okay? I'm just there. We're trying to organize our race. That's
You see this guy, he has long hair. Apostle Paul said it's a shame for a man to have long hair. So why isn't he cutting his hair? Now the way Bishop Nate got it, that's the way you're supposed to look. This individual, his brother right here, brother over here, he's off. He's off. There's a reason why that statement that Paul made is in the scriptures. 1 Corinthians 11 chapter. And and when you go back into the history, the Israelites that came out of Corinth, they were in a Gentile-minded state. That's the terminology that we use. And what they did was when they came back into the fold of being Israelites to learn the gospel, they couldn't get rid of their customs. Men having who was this? One of the seven sages, Homer. He was the guy that wrote the story of Achilles. Remember the movie Troy? Well, that's a story that one of the seven sages wrote that became a movie. His name was Homer. And Homer made a statement, and many of them made that statement, but he said the long-haired Greeks, which is not a part of our custom. That's why when you read down, the Apostle Paul said, this is not a custom of any of the churches. I'm merely paraphrasing. So he got the long hair in vain. Supposed to have hair like this, okay, or like this. You know, you see these brothers over here, all right? They're still brothers, even though we get on them. They're going off right now. This meeting should have took no more than 5 minutes. You realize they didn't accept your piece, you shake the dust and you move. You say, we can go out, we can come out here, we can do this every week. Where's that in the scriptures? Where did the Lord say that? Let's look at it a little bit more.
before destruction, and it's come. You see what's happening in Ukraine? It's only going to escalate and all this. Holy Ghost, stop. Holy Ghost.
This is what happens in the inside the walls of the madman Geno Jennings. There's not, but even a reader, the guy that's so conservative that look like him, even the demon jumps on him. It's probably the same demon that's controlling your ass, Manuel. What's his name? Manuel Miguel TV, San Miguel TV. Let's listen up, watch up.
Yes! Yes! Examine yourself. God ain't dealt with you. Go back. Go back. Go back. Go back. Go back. Go back. Yes! Glory to God. Glory to God. Hallelujah. That ain't what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be out in the streets teaching our people. Look at these brothers.
Oh, you heard what he said. We're supposed to be out on the streets teaching, right? When was the last time this guy been out on the streets teaching? He came out because it was a major event. This guy haven't been, him and General Yohana haven't been out there in years. The scriptures speak about go ye out into the highways and the byways. It's all throughout the scriptures. Luke 10, Matthew 22, just to name a few. Proverbs 1, wisdom crieth without, she uttereth a voice in the street, on the main concourses. This man hasn't been out. He got his men that go out there, but he don't go out there. The last time he went out there, I don't know, 8 years ago. Yawasop ain't out there. Now you heard what he said. This is out of his mouth.
Glory to God, glory to God. Hallelujah. That ain't what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be out in the streets teaching our people. Look at these guys on the corner with them skirts and come on, man. right here across the street from Geno's Church.
Name is something Israel, but
What's the name? Israel. That's the name, Israel? Yes, that is my name, Israel.
he's gonna read a bunch of scriptures.
That dude, let me bring him back. Let me bring him back. He got a Ray Charles demon on him.
He's gonna read a bunch of scriptures.
That's a Ray Charles demon. Anyway, get ready to close it. You know what? Let me do this. Let me do this. I gotta come back on this. This is slavery in Britain. Goes into the history of slavery. They got to pay for it. They got to go into slavery too. I hope I spelled this right. How? Okay, let me see. How? Let me see. How? Bear me for a minute. It says how they caused my people to. Let me try it this way. Let me try it this way. Bear me for a minute. I believe it's in Jeremiah. Let me try this. Okay, this is what I want. Isaiah 52 verse 5. Now therefore, what have I here, saith the Lord, that my people is taken away for naught. They that rule over them make them to howl, saith the Lord. And my name continually every day is blasphemed. So what does it mean to howl? Let's see what the word in the Hebrew is for howl. Make my people a howl. And it says blaspheme. Okay, howl. Yalal. To howl, well, make a howling. So they make a lot of noise when they speak in tongues, and speaking in tongues means different languages. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom.